Hi there, welcome to Colorado Conversations. I'm Denise Plante. Normally you join us in the morning for Great Day Colorado. I'm happy to be part of your day, and I'm happy to have our next guest back, Rebeccah Silence. She is the world's leading love and emotional healing coach, and it's good to see you.
I'm so happy to change some lives with you today, Denise.
And she really does. I mean, that's not just something she says. Last time you were on, we talked about you, and we got your background, and you really are the world's leading love and emotional relationship coach. I want to get relationship in there because you help with so many different relationships. This time we want to focus on you. We asked you to email some questions to Rebeccah so she could dig a little deep and help you while you're watching Colorado Conversations. So if you don't mind, I'd like to just dig in here.
Let's go.
Some relationship and love advice. Let's start with that. The first question says, if I find myself in a dysfunctional environment, like a workplace, is that dysfunction a reflection of me, or is it just life happening? And how do I choose to respond?
Oh, this is such a good question. Thank you for asking. The workplace dysfunction, here's what I'm going to suggest, is what you're used to because of how you grew up, right? So we do attract what we haven't healed yet. That is not bad news because it can all heal. Some people will say the healing work is never done. Not when I'm your coach. You can absolutely fully heal it. So whatever the dysfunction is, maybe you're feeling abused, maybe you're feeling belittled or disrespected or passed over. Really identify like what is the dysfunction in terms of how it feels for you, and then drop into your body, think back, is that how it felt growing up? So that's a deep answer, but it's not your fault. It's just we attract what we haven't healed yet. So the good news is you get to start having boundaries and speaking up around what you need, what you want, and how you feel.
Right.
Ask for, here's what I want. I want to be considered for the next promotion. If you don't ask, it isn't going to happen. If you don't own it, it's not going to happen. Let people know, yeah, I'm needing 5 minutes with you sometime today so we can just get to the bottom of whatever's going on with us, find a solution that works for us both, and get to the other side.
So you're setting boundaries.
So you advocating for yourself and setting boundaries now as an adult, that changes the pattern. That breaks the cycle.
Build the framework around it, because you may be attracting it, but then it's also somebody else's emotional response or debt that they're paying off from their childhood trauma, and that's how they're retaliating.
And I love that you're saying it that way because, they're having their experience of their past repeating, and so are you. Your job isn't to heal or fix or change them.
Right.
Good luck with that. But you get to show up differently, and you get to ask for what you need and offer solutions and make requests in a way that might be scary, but that will break you through and at least change your reality, even if they're not interested in healing or growing.
It did take some time for me to learn, okay, I'm not going to step into that box. You may want to say that about me, or that's your reflection of me, but that doesn't mean I'm going to step into that framework.
Yeah.
And I had to set that boundary around people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's never personal. Let's end this question with that. It feels personal, even if they are saying something directly about you or to you. It's never personal. They're projecting onto you how they feel about themselves 100% of the time. So just know that. They might as well be telling you you're pink with purple polka dots.
Yes, and ladies, even if it's some big burly man that you're dealing with, he can be intimidated, like it or not, and vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, there are women that are intimidated by men and other women also. So you're dealing with those. Okay, question 2. Why am I still fighting all the time with my partner, even though we've been together for years and actually really love each other?
Yes. So many people don't know how to not trauma bond in their relationship, right? So it's exciting, it's intense, and it feels kind of hot to be in that one of you is the one that's blaming, lashing out, threatening. The other one's the victim to them in this moment, and this is how we create connection. There's a better way. But that's why, usually when we're fighting, we're bored, and we don't know how to connect without picking a fight or starting something. And again, back to the first question, it definitely also has to do with this is what you're used to. And so many of us believe love hurt us and love hurts us. So let me just speak to that, because love never hurt you.
It's the words that your loved one may have used.
Unhealed people hurt us.
Unhealed
not
people.
love. Love never hurt you. Unhealed people do. That is really important because we think, oh, I want love more than anything, but I don't want to have to deal with the cost, the collateral damage, the drama that comes with it. But what I want to say is it can be spicy and hot to trauma bond, and the only way you think you can connect. And so let me just challenge that. There's a better way. And it goes back to being really honest about, I'm not interested in all this. I want to get to know your soul.
Yes.
I want to connect soul to soul. I want to create something like I call magically delicious with you. Tell your spouse, I want to create a magically delicious night together this week.
Plus trauma bonding, it's so exhausting.
Oh.
Who wants to do that? I mean, you have to be exhausted at the end. Again, Rebeccah Silence is joining me, and your book fell, so I was like, that's a sign that I need to mention her book.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Coming Back to Life, Rebeccah Silence, a roadmap to healing from pain to create the life you want. So I'm going to tell you how to get this book here in just a few minutes. Let's go through one more question before we take a break. After a restless night trying to come to terms with cost of your intensive workshop, is there any negotiating the price? I want this, but I'm scared. What the heck is that? What kind of question is that?
This was a question that came in about one of my events.
Okay.
And my work is high ticket if you want me privately. But what everybody needs to know is there are so many ways to work with me. I have a monthly membership for women that's $49 a month. I have the book. I have a YouTube channel full of free resources. So it isn't just you have to pay me the high ticket pricing. Only if you want me privately.
And $49 a month. I mean,
I've
that's
made it
2 coffees
so
right there.
accessible.
That's so affordable.
Oh my gosh. And my emotional survival kit course for couples that have saved marriages, revolutionized marriages, that's $599. So you just go to theunsilentwoman.com and I've got you at any price point.
And you're getting her free here on A Colorado
Yes, you
Conversation
are.
every month.
Yes.
All right, we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about self-healing and personal growth. Everybody has that to do, so stay with us. That's coming up next with Rebeccah Silence on Colorado Conversations. Welcome back to Colorado Conversations. I'm Denise Plante, and joining me today is Rebeccah Silence, the world's leading and love emotional healing coach, and she's also a relationship expert. So now I want to get back into some questions from you, our viewers, and this is all about self-healing and personal growth, which everyone has to do that in life.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are scared that it never ends. So the question is healing actually worth it, or does the work just never stop?
Oh, this question gives me chills because it really does feel scary. Like, I have Pandora's box. I do not want to open it. I don't want to compromise or threaten the success I've built. It gets really scary. But when I'm talking about healing, my definition of healing is freedom. I am talking about healing in a way where we use your trauma to your advantage. And my definition of trauma is simply heartbreak. So if you don't do the work to heal, which, as I've already mentioned today, yes, the work of healing can be permanent. It isn't never going to be done. That's not how we want you to look at it. The work of healing means you don't have armor around your heart anymore. The work of healing is you get to meet and design a healed version of yourself that you haven't even met yet, right? We all create this version of ourselves growing up to survive our childhood. And that doesn't mean we're blaming our parents. They did our best. But I am ultimately a generational trauma healing expert. And the heartbreaks, the patterns, they're inherited, and the cycle can stop with you and tell me that's not worth it.
Yeah, it's
right?
totally
That the
worth it.
cycle stops with you and there's no more armor around your heart, and that doesn't expose you to more pain. It makes you somebody who can see people's bad behavior coming sooner. When you're all guarded at home and at work, you can't really see what's there because you're in self-protection mode. So healing is worth it. Self-protection isn't. Self-protection means you're protecting your patterns and your pain and your trauma. And healing means you're saying, nobody gets to make me less me.
But Rebeccah, how do we know if we're really healing or if we're just running away from our problems?
Well, If you're running away from your problems are haunting you. Your problems are right there on your shoulder, and life is like poking its finger into these wounds all the time. Even if you leave the job, even if you leave the spouse, you're just playing out the same stuff with different people all over the place. Healing means you're more free, you're more alive, you have more energy. So healing always means better for you, never worse than you. But the thing is, you can't heal your emotions in your mind. That's what most traditional therapy coaching is trying to help you with. Understanding it, managing it, coping with it. You can't heal in your head. So most of us don't want anything to do with feelings or emotions.
So what do? Just reprogram it? You actually...
No. You need emotional healing, which is what I do, which is why you need the book. You need to learn how to have a healthy relationship with how you're feeling so you can move through the emotions that are stuck so you can actually be healed.
Okay.
That's the missing.
Quickly, Coming Back to Life is the book that you talked about. Where do we get this?
Amazon, baby.
Amazon.
Just go to Amazon.
And look for Rebeccah Silence.
There's an audio book. Just do Coming Back to Life, Rebeccah Silence. There's the audio version. There's the actual book. Order it. It will change your life.
So if somebody's watching and they grew up in dysfunction,
Yes.
which a lot of people
Every
have,
one of us.
They've had no choice. Yeah, I guess it just depends on the severity of dysfunction in your home. They had no other choice to be in it, but now as a healthy adult, they want to stop those patterns. How do they go about doing that?
Well, first of all, we have to identify the pattern, and we have to be brave enough to be willing to get close to it, right? What we face, we can conquer. What we avoid just keeps escalating.
Right.
So the first step is we have to identify something's off. And how you know there's healing work to do is you're feeling stuck, or you're suffering, or you're frustrated, or you're irritable. Something just feels bad. That's good news. Most of us don't think about it that way, right? I have a keynote speech I do all over Denver. Make your triggers your biatch. Because I'm like, listen, we got to get so close to it. It feels scary and uncomfortable so we can take our power back. So we identify it. And then we have to, with support, and I am available to all of you, reach out. And we'll tell you how to do that. But the next step is to get to the stuck emotions underneath it. And then the next step is to go, how do I want to feel instead?
Right.
We're so focused on how we don't want to feel that we just give that more power, and it just keeps happening like Groundhog Day.
I always thought, my mom told me this, do you like feeling this way? No. Then change it. Then you have to change it. But you got to do the work to change it. It doesn't come that easy.
Well, it doesn't. It's simple. It's not easy. But here's the deal. We don't like how it feels, but we know how to survive it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
So we know how to survive it, so it's safe. One of the scariest nights of my life was the first night I spent with my second husband, because I didn't know what to do with this safe, healed, hot man. I did not know what to do. If it had been an abusive dynamic,
then you would have known how to survive it.
I would have slept like a baby.
Yeah,
because I know how to do this. I don't know how to do what else is available for me. And so many of you don't know how to trust the good stuff or the good emotions. So you don't like it, but you like knowing that you have the ability to control it.
Right.
You know how to do this.
You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be, felt confident and treated nice.
But we get scared because then we're like, oh no, is the other shoe going to drop? Right? We don't know how to trust the good stuff. That's another huge thing I teach.
Okay, now let's go a little, not so deep. Another question is about cell phones.
Okay.
I know this is complete transition, but it's about our children, because a mom's writing in saying, it's destroying my kids' ability to focus and connect. So what's a real resolution to that?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, in my house, Monday nights, no cell phones.
Really?
You know who asked for that? The 11-year-old.
Why is that?
Because she wants to have dinner with us, play games with us, make art projects together.
But that means for you as well, the
Yes!
parents as well. No cell phones.
Oh my gosh, and that has been a real, okay, I have to make a conscious effort here. We're just not watching TV, we're putting the phones away. My husband and I, Monday nights, in my family, there is so much going on all the time, like for so many of you. But we have made Monday nights the cell phone free night. Now, maybe that isn't always going to work, but it is important to know what's going on with your kid's phone. It is important to make sure you have quality time with your kids and make that fun. We don't want you to just have the quality time with your kid.
Right.
And you're telling them, here's what you didn't do. Here's what you're doing wrong. Here's where you're falling short. They are not going to want to hang out with you.
Otherwise, it's going to be like, Mondays stink, Mom.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's easy to go, oh, now I have time with you and there's no phone. Let me tell you all the things that we need to address.
Going back to basics.
Right, but make sure you're enjoying quality time with your kids. Make sure that there is, even a date with your kids every week. That's something I do with the 11-year-old.
Yeah, I used to have Mommy Sunday.
Yes.
So it was my son, and it was on a Sunday.
I love it.
But he always expected to get something. I'm like, listen, kid, I'm not bribing you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back more with Rebeccah Silence, but when we do come back, we're going to talk about investing in yourself, okay? Not only about money, but also your worth.
Yeah.
So stay with us as Colorado Conversations continues. Welcome back to Colorado Conversations. I'm Denise Plante, normally your host on Great Day Colorado, but I decided to stop by monthly because I wanted to introduce you to a friend. Her name's Rebeccah Silence, and she is the world's leading emotional and health coach and relationship coach as well. And she also offers like little getaways too. You could have her for $49 a month, $49.99 of coaching a month. You can pick up a book. You can go to her YouTube. You can watch her here on Colorado Conversations. Or you can actually go to one of your coaching packages and do a little getaway too. And that's really investing in yourself. When you go to a retreat, you get 24/7 with you pretty much.
Yeah, I do 3-day retreats for women, and I do 2-day couples intensives where you get a private retreat with me, and I personally help you heal and break through and redesign your relationship.
And they're 3 days.
The couples intensives are 2, the women's retreats are 3. So if you go to theunsilentwoman.com, all the details are there.
And why do you feel it's important for people to invest in themselves and their relationship?
Yeah, well, and let me just tell you, with the retreats, whether it's a personalized couples intensive retreat or the 3-day retreats with multiple women, there's something so magical about being there immersed in your healing and learning from your spouse or learning from the other women there, and we're building off of it. So 2 days with me is decades of healing. 3 days with me is decades of healing. So the fast track exists. I'm not wasting your time.
Right.
But the reason investing in your healing is so important, and we're not taught to invest or have a budget for our personal development, especially when it comes to emotional healing. But the reason it's so important is because, let me tell you how much time you get back. You get so much time when you're emotionally regulated, when joy is the rule you live by, not the exception, and when you know how to be the best of you and don't need anything to change for you to be okay. Tell me that's not worth it. And when you're emotionally regulated, other people's emotional dysregulation doesn't threaten you.
Right.
You're able to stay regulated through it all. That is superpower at home, for your marriage, for your parenting, for your business. The emotionally healed you in charge. And you're always telling me how positive I am. And I'm always telling you, no, this is just what healed looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not that
so
positive.
Wonderful. Well, it's good to like wake up in the morning and want to get out of bed and be happy again. And hey, we got a whole day ahead of us. But over time, sometimes that emotional baggage that's not healed can bring you down. So
and it's not going away.
Right. You gotta face it. You can't run away from it.
Yeah.
All right, let's use our voice confidence and speaking up. Another question is, how do I write and talk about my own healing stories? How many pages is that going to take?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's what coming back to life is. This is my story, but I didn't write it from a wounded place to heal me. I wrote from the healed perspective, but let me tell you, I've got a basement full of probably hundreds of journals of me just writing my vulnerable truth and witnessing myself. If you don't get it out, It's just saying trapped in your body. And as I shared in the last Colorado conversation, I'm a cancer survivor.
Right.
I beat cancer with a 5% chance living the practice of emotional healing. I am living proof it works, right? It's not all the crazy I've overcome. It's the life I have now that's the proof that healing is possible.
Do you do the grateful, like when you name 3 things that you're grateful for a day? I have a friend that does that. She says it's wonderful. And you can't repeat the same three things in over a month.
I love that exercise. I cry tears of joy every day. That's how grateful I am. But I think it's really important to write out the raw, the messy, the ugly. Don't be afraid of it. Write it out. And I don't know how many pages it's going to be.
That's your story.
But it's your story, and it's important. And you witnessing yourself is the step required if you want to be witnessed. So many of you feel unseen. So many of you feel misunderstood. So many of you feel unheard. But you've denied your truth. So life is reflecting back to you, you're the one denying your truth, boo.
Right.
So if you will get a healing journal going, join the Own Your Voice Society. Hire me as your private coach. We can get you all the way through what you've been told could never heal so quick.
Okay, the next question. I've been checking in with myself to make sure I'm not contributing to the drama, asking what's mine to clean up. Is that the right approach? Should they be doing that?
Well, here's the deal. I had a mentor that used to say, if you see drama, you're in it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to take a play from her book and just let you know, if you're seeing the drama and it's upsetting you, it's showing you an unhealed pattern in you.
Okay.
And that is good news. If I can't see it, I can't heal it. Now, where we contribute to drama in a way that we don't have to is when you're trying to regulate somebody's dysregulation, when you're trying to rescue them from themselves, when you're swooping in as the savior. How many times have you tried to help somebody and it bites you in the booty because now they're lashing out at you and you were just trying to help?
I learned a really hard lesson when I was a kid. And a work friend, we became pretty close, and we would go out as couples, and then I saw her live-in fiance out with another woman, and I spoke up and told her about it, thinking I was being a good friend, and that came back to just nail me because she was, of course, taking his side.
Yeah.
So that's really tricky territory, talking about drama.
It's tricky, but 2 things. One, when you see drama, is it your own judgment?
Yes.
Is it your own fear? And always, 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 before you help, ask permission first. I have an idea for you, or I'm seeing something here. It's just an observation.
Don't know if you want to know about it.
Do you want to hear it? It's totally okay if you don't.
Yes, that would have been a great way for me to approach it. But again, I was 20 years old, so that was a long time ago.
We all go through this, but ask permission first. That's game changing.
All right, so another question, is the dysfunction around me actually a reflection of me, or is it just life?
Okay, so everybody is going through their healing journey, and life is showing us where we're healed and where we're not 100% of the time. And how do we know when life's showing us we're not healed? It hurts. How do we know we've healed? It doesn't hurt anymore. So I don't think we ever are immune to being triggered, right? I can teach you how to make your triggers your biatch, but I can't teach you how to never be triggered. By the time you notice an emotional trigger, meaning an upset, a charge, you're safe enough to heal it. So I just want us to recognize life's going to go your way, and life isn't going to go your way. And none of that's about you, it's just life.
Right.
But you get to meet yourself in the face of whatever moment you're in and however life's lifing, and you get to be the best of you. Some of you do a lot of picking and choosing when you're gonna be the best of you and who deserves it, okay? I just want you the best of you. For you. It's not because they deserve it, it's because you deserve it.
And you've been through enough already. So
thank you for saying that.
Yes. All right, we have about a minute and a half left.
Yes.
So I want to make sure I get out Coming Back to Life. You can get this on Amazon, right?
Yep, you can get that on Amazon. And there's an audio version available.
Which is great.
And I want to give you all a free gift. So follow me at Rebeccah Silence on Instagram and DM me CPR. I have an amazing emotional CPR masterclass. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, Rebecca, like your answers are helpful, but I don't know where to go from here. I get it. Get the book and then let me give you a free masterclass emotional CPR so I can help you go from your mind to your triggers, to the emotions underneath it all, to liberation on the other side.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, but you have to find the right person to guide you, and the person that's been through it herself. She is actually a survivor of cancer. You came back when you were given a 5% chance to live.
5% chance to live, diagnosed while I was pregnant.
And it all comes back because of the trauma. You believe that diseases like cancer and other health issues come out because you've dealt so much emotional trauma, right?
I think our body keeps the score, but I also think that's just another example of life being life. I don't think I caused the cancer, but I had so much to do with healing it against all odds. And I'm just the voice that says there's nothing you can't heal. There's nothing you've been through that means less of a life for you. Healing is possible in every scenario.
Okay, I want you back on the show in a couple weeks if you don't mind.
I'm here.
If you want to send questions to Rebecca, where do they send them?
Send them to Rebeccah at RebeccahSilence.com. Rebecca has an H. DM me CPR at Rebeccah Silence on Instagram and follow me. You could also DM me your question if you want, but Rebeccah at RebeccahSilence.com. And nothing's off the table.
And Rebeccah is RebeccAH, Rebeccah Silence.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
always
you
good
all.
to see you.
You too.
Don't forget to pick up her book, Coming Back to Life. It's off of Amazon. Just Google that, Amazon and Rebeccah Silence. And I'll see you again in a couple weeks on Colorado Conversations. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.